All right, thanks for watching the Block Nation Crypto Podcast. In this episode, I'm going to go over two things. I'm going to start off with the Craig Wright trying to be Satoshi Nakamoto thing. And I know a lot of people want to ignore it, and I wish I could ignore it, but it's important that people understand that he's full of absolute dog crap. Okay, the dude is not Satoshi Nakamoto, okay, trying to file a copyright on the Bitcoin code, on him being the inventor of the Bitcoin white paper. It's just ridiculous. And why I think it's important, okay, because most people who are veterans in the crypto space really understand that the guy is a complete fraud and the whole Bitcoin SV thing is complete horse crap, all right? And so it's important because people that are new to this space can easily get confused between Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin SV. And I would understand it, okay, if Bitcoin SV was made to simply be better than Bitcoin. But this whole illusion and facade behind it of this guy pretending to be the original inventor of Bitcoin, although he has no evidence, okay, and he comes out and says that he's trying to invent something better. It makes up this whole pyramid of lies and nonsense and just made up bull crap, okay? And then he tricks and cons people into buying in to his forked version of Bitcoin. And it really causes a detriment to the whole community, okay? Because while most people should get into the space, learn about Bitcoin, and put their money in Bitcoin, which is valuable, a lot of them, it's not a lot of them, but some of them get suckered into believing, okay, this Bitcoin SV thing is something special, when it's just a whole blockchain based off deceit and lies, and it has a lot of cultish principles to it. And the whole crypto space is very tribal, and so it's easy for these, kind of these small micro communities for each coin, almost like these tribes for these blockchains to get created. And this is what we're seeing with Bitcoin SV, but it's been built off nothing but made up nonsense, lies, and deceit. And that's a big issue because we're talking about real dollars being invested into something that it's a complete fraud. Okay, so that's why it's a big deal. And it hurts the overall Bitcoin market because those dollars should be invested in something that's actually valuable like Bitcoin, but they're getting tricked in some other nonsense. And like I said before, it's built off deceit, and stuff that are built off lies, deceit, and fraud, at some point in time, they're going to collapse. Okay, so I think it's caused a detriment to the crypto space. I think it's just, when you're out there lying to people, making stuff up, causing a mockery, and you have no proof behind the claims that you make, okay, that's just absolute nonsense. I've been a scientist for nearly a decade now, and, in science, we back stuff based off with facts. And if you don't have facts, it might as well not be true, okay? So until he can actually provide smart evidence, all right, don't fall for the nonsense. Bitcoin SV, I'm not going to say it's a straight up scam, but the entire thing is built off lies, and that's the principle behind it. And that's where I'm going to leave it right there. Okay, so the main thing I want to go over in this show, and I have some detailed notes, so if it sounds like I'm kind of reading through some notes a little bit, that's why. But I want to talk about crypto regulation, all right? Because at some point in time, the regulators are going to come into crypto, and I think it's really somewhat needed. Now, my philosophy on regulation, especially with something that's innovative and a technology that has great potential, is it needs some light regulation. And one thing governments do a horrible job on is a lot of times they don't understand something, they jump the gun and just outright ban it. Okay, and I'm going to talk about why banning is a bad idea and why it won't work. All right, but I do think crypto needs a light touch of regulation, all right, because right now the space is littered with scams, although it's, the scams are down from where they were in like 2017. And there are some things that could help improve Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and some other altcoins, and the whole market in general. Okay, so why the crypto market needs regulation? The first thing is data reporting is horrific. Okay, so many exchanges, and these typically aren't stuff like Binance and Coinbase, which are kind of your smaller, medium-sized exchanges, they're able to make up trading volume. Okay, and they can make certain cryptos seem like they're seeing a lot of volume, when in reality they're not. It's just a bunch of wash trading. And I noticed this firsthand one time, okay? So at one point, I think it was late December, I just want to take $100 and throw it into some, altcoin and just see what happens. Okay, it's like rolling the dice out there. And I knew it was a big risk. I knew I could lose it all. But I threw it on a crypto called RPM, REPME. All right. And so I threw it on there, and like a month later, 2 months later, it's up like 5x. Okay, it's going off about 500%. And so I look on CoinMarketCap, and the trading volume of this coin is like several $100,000, almost up maybe like $1 million. And so I go on the one exchange that it was traded, and there was nobody buying that coin. It was nothing but sell orders, and it stayed like this for months. In fact, I could probably go back on there and my sell order would still be in there, and I lowballed everybody. But there wasn't any real volume, okay? So no one could get rid of their RPM. No one could sell it, okay, because the entire volume was made up. Now, like I said before, this coin was on some lower end exchange, but you go to websites that have data on these markets, and they're just not accurate, okay? So we do need some regulation to come in here and make sure these exchanges that are reporting this data is that it's real, because people are going on there to make trades, but it doesn't really reflect what's going on in the market. So I think that's a major issue, and that's something that's going to help prevent other things from being created. Excuse me, as we move forward with crypto. All right. Okay, so markets can also be manipulated. And so it's not hard for big time crypto whales, and not necessarily like Bitcoin or Ethereum, but especially a lot of small altcoins, a lot of these whales that can own a major supply of it, they can put up some leverage on it, trade the opposite of that leverage, and kind of manipulate the market a little bit, okay? But then just build up so much leverage that eventually it makes a profit for them. And so they can be manipulated. And this causes a major problem when we're trying to get something like a Bitcoin ETF approved, okay? And so Bitcoin ETF is going to be big for the price of Bitcoin. And this is something else a lot of people in the community are kind of just downplaying, saying, okay, Bitcoin ETF being approved is not a big deal. I think it's a major deal. Okay, there are trillions of dollars investors have in custodial services and have in the hands of hedge fund managers and professional investors. Okay, and to allow a Bitcoin ETF would be a very easy vehicle for them to transition some of those trillions of dollars into Bitcoin. And when that happens, of course, the price of it is going to skyrocket. So to me, the Bitcoin ETF being delayed and not being approved yet is a big deal to me, because I think it could help improve the price of Bitcoin significantly, and it needs to get done. But there's two major things that I've been talking about. Some market manipulation and reporting data are going to prevent it from being approved. And so till we get some regulation in here and that we can manage some of this stuff going on, that ETF ain't going to get approved. And I think overall it's going to hurt the Bitcoin market and the entire crypto market. So hopefully we can get that fixed. And then probably the biggest thing that needs regulation is custodial services have been a horrific thing going on in crypto. Okay, exchanges are horrible at security. Okay, the biggest exchanges have been hacked, and that includes Coinbase. And when they lost all that Bitcoin, it just goes to show it doesn't matter what exchange it is. Okay, hackers can eventually get in if so many do it for a long enough period of time. And this has been a major issue in crypto. Okay, we saw Bitfinex. They lost $850 million. Okay, spending funds that they shouldn't have been spending. The Quadriga exchange that lost $150 million just because only one guy owned the private keys and he lost those. I mean, it's just crazy the amount of money that's been lost through these exchanges because of poor custodial services. Okay, and this is one more thing that's going to affect the Bitcoin ETF getting approved, because when stuff like this happens, it plays a big blow to the market. Okay, so we've got to really fix those three things. Custodial is a big one, and you should care about custodial regulation, because that's your money on the exchange, and the exchanges need to do a better job, okay, of protecting investors' money. All right, so what we don't need a ban on, what we don't need with regulation, all right, is an all-out ban on cryptos. This is a horrific idea, and it's been mentioned by some members in Congress, and some countries like India have actually gone through and banned cryptos, and I think that is just an idiotic idea. All right, you got to be completely stupid to just straight up ban a technology, okay? It's so dumb it makes me mad sometimes how just like the failure of logic and reasoning and just going out, oh, we don't understand it, we're going to ban it, all right? So India, I mean, that's just absolute stupidity. But governments have failed for centuries, okay, at banning stuff. In America, tried to ban alcohol during Prohibition times. Didn't work, okay? The war on drugs has been a major failure for America because they're still prevalent, all right, throughout the country. And in fact, one of the worst drugs, prescription pills, is actually legal. So banning stuff just doesn't work, okay, in governments. They've tried to do it for years with so many different things. And to come out and say you're just going to ban Bitcoin is absolute ludicrous. If you understand how the Bitcoin network works at all, and the fact that you don't even have to connect to the internet, okay, to transact Bitcoin, you can't ban it, all right? And all a ban is going to do on a digital asset is place a burden on the taxpayers who are going to have to pay tremendous amounts of their tax dollars to go fund some war on Bitcoin or crypto that the government will never be able to control, okay? So it would be an extreme waste of tax dollars and government resources and time, and it'd put a lot of people in prison for something that they have a right to use, because as a human, you have the right to use Bitcoin. Another thing you got to understand about banning stuff, all right, when you make anything illegal, it never makes the price of that thing go down. It only makes the price of it go up. Think about everything that's ever been illegal versus a time when it was legal, okay? When you make something illegal, all right, it gives it more value because it becomes more scarce, all right? So if you ban Bitcoin, it's only going to make investors have a greater incentive to hold on to their Bitcoin because they know the price of it would skyrocket, okay? And it takes a long time to make something illegal in a country, and it'd just be foolish. Now, the next thing that would really make banning cryptos an idiotic idea is that it would hurt our economy, because this is one of the fastest growing technologies in the world, okay? And to put a ban on it would ban all the innovative businesses that start up using this technology, and it would limit our growth in this space. And when you start looking at competitors across the world, so like China, Germany, all those big major countries besides the United States, all right, if you ban that technology, they're going to get a leg up because they're going to have so many businesses, people coming up with great ideas, schools and universities working on this stuff, and they will outbeat you in the technology arms race. And this is one of the other things that India is really screwing up on. They're putting their country back technologically and economically by banning something like this, and it would just be a complete foolish move to make. All right, so banning cryptos, I really don't think the United States would do it, but there has been talk about it, and I think as a person who has a right to voice their opinion in this country and let it be known, and if you're in a different country, still follow the same thing I'm saying. Let your voice be known, because you have a right to use these cryptocurrencies, and it's actually more detrimental to the country to put an outright ban on it. All right. Another thing I don't want to see with regulation is an overburdening, such as only allowing money transfer services the right to use cryptos and send them back and forth. So just kind of putting in some regulation where you've got to be a money transfer service to use crypto would be a major blow to it. And the only reason a government would want to do this is because it gives them complete control over our monetary actions. And that's and it's a violation of our rights as human beings, as citizens of whatever country you live in. You have the right to make monetary transactions in whatever currency or money you choose. And the fact that we have some governing body come in and say that we can only use the type of money that they tell us is absolute a violation on our rights as human beings, okay? You have a right to privacy. Your government doesn't have to know every single transaction you make, all right? That is your given right as a human being. And so at some point, we've got to really step up and voice our opinion and let it be known that we have a right to make private transactions. Now, I'm not saying do something illegal. I'm definitely not saying that, okay? But I'm just saying as a person, as a human being, you have the right to use whatever money you see fit. Now, what the government should do, and this is really what any government around the world should do, is make cryptocurrencies a separate asset class than what they are right now and create a new framework for raising capital with cryptocurrencies. I cannot believe we still use the Howey test inside the United States. That is the most outdated law we go by. It was made in the 1930s. Okay? Every technology that we use today was invented after the Howey test, yet that's the one freaking law we use to date if something is a security or not a security. Okay, how backwards is that we use this crappy old law back when there wasn't computers, internet, color television. I think the radio, had only been out for a freaking decade, and we're over here using these same old existing laws. You need to allow companies to raise capital, all right, by using cryptocurrencies and not call it a security and not automatically deem it a fraud. It holds back the innovation in our country that we have government agencies banning the ability to use capitalism to our advantage and take a new technology, all right, and make the fundraising process more efficient. All right, now I'm not saying that they should just, throw the keys out and let people do whatever. I think you could put in some regulations like put a cap on the amount that a company can fundraise using an ICO. Put a cap on the amount an investor can put into that ICO. I think you can still have some framework, but the fact that you're saying that, okay, you're trying to raise money and you're not going to go through the entire process of an IPO because we just want to deem it a security because we're going off some old law in the 1930. I mean, that's just stupid. All right? I don't understand why we just maintain these outdated laws that have no use in today's society. Okay, we need to make cryptos a complete new asset class and form a new framework. All right, not the same old regurgitated Howey test framework that the SEC put out like 2 months ago that just went in more detail of what the Howey test was. Like we already freaking knew what it was. You didn't have to tell us again. All right, need to create a new asset class. Next thing we need to do is spend a majority of regulation on data reporting in crypto. Okay, and custodial safety. We don't want data to be manipulated, and we want to make sure exchanges, okay, have enough security to protect investor funds, and that they somehow put a safety procedure in, okay, and that they have some backup money ready to go in case their exchange gets hacked. I think that's the two biggest pieces of regulation we need. Fix the data reporting, all right, and make sure exchanges make sure the exchanges up their custodial services and they have enough safety, all right? The next thing they need to develop these laws is they need to work with people that are in the top of this space, okay, to develop laws that don't violate human rights and they're honest and fair and allow this technology to flourish as it becomes more and more innovative, all right? So there's so many smart people that come from so many different industries in crypto, so law, finance, technology. Our government needs to quit squabbling with each other. Lawmakers need to quit squabbling with each other. Go out to these people that are experts, that know more than anything about crypto, about Bitcoin, and speak with them, help work with them to craft, okay, some good laws that we can use in this space and help it flourish and become more innovative. So that's my whole podcast on crypto regulation. I know it's not always the sexiest topic to talk about, but it's a very important topic. Okay, so please share this video with your friends, with your family. They need to know the information in here. They need to know about crypto regulation and how that they need to voice their opinion and help spread the word that we need these as human beings because it's an innovative form of money and it's your God-given right to use them. Okay, if you like what I had to say, like I said, share this video out. Please leave me your comments and feedback. All right, I want to know your opinions, what you think about the overall show, what you think about the topic, and anything you want to discuss. Leave it in the comment section. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Go to Twitter, follow me at Drew Griffin. Thanks for watching. I'm going to try to put in crypto late nights almost every night of the week, so make sure you stay updated. Hit that alert button if you want to see the next show, and thank you for watching.